Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a new season of Friday Night Show with Will. I'm Will. Hope you guys have been doing good. I have a guest with me tonight. Hello, guest.
Hello,
It's
I'm Billy.
it's
I'm
Billy.
Box.
He's back on the
Yeah.
show again. Tonight I brought Billy on to talk about Power Rangers Prime, the current Ranger comic that's been happening for issue 7, so pretty much all of 2025 so far. um yeah, and we're just gonna just kind of talk about where we're at so far. There's not really any end of the series yet. We're just kind of like talking about it, how it's coming along, and our thoughts on all that. And yeah, so I guess we'll just go with overall thoughts, and then we'll just kind of go into specifics. So what are you feeling about Power Rangers Prime so far?
Overall, I'm enjoying it. Like, I enjoy certain aspects of it, and then other things I feel like they have to shoehorn in just because they want it to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, obviously, like the where it takes place in Angel Grove.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's Mighty Morphin, and then there's other aspects for it, but majority it is new, and that's what I like most about it. And then like just the different like character story, and then also they didn't like jump right into being Rangers,
Mm-hmm.
which we can talk about more when we talk about the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same regard as you, where obviously there's a lot of marketability things kind of in this comic. They kind of need to keep some things the same in order for it to kind of like have that appeal. I kind of think that just comes to like the designs of everything and just kind of like some of the character choices. But I think overall, despite those things, I think it uses them in a way that's new and exciting, which was kind of the whole point, at least from my understanding of this comic series. And I think so far it's doing a pretty good job at just kind of like having fun with Power Rangers. That's kind of what I told. I was just at Robo Toy Fest this past weekend in Burbank, and I saw Melissa Flores there because she was there, at a booth. And I told her it was just nice to see Power Rangers just kind of having fun, and that was kind of what I told her. My thoughts were on it so far.
Yeah, and then also the big thing with this comic is they reintroduced the VR Troopers to
Which
2025.
so freaking random. I would have never, I would have never guessed the freaking VR Troopers of all of the Saban properties. I would have never guessed the VR Troopers would have their renaissance first.
There's some
Um,
type of like foot soldier.
yeah, like I don't know. From what I understand, I think Kyle Higgins. This is another thing I heard over this past weekend. I don't know if it's good information to share, but whatever. Uh, where are they going to do? Sue me? Um, from what I understand, Kyle Higgins wanted to use. It was either Kyle Higgins or Ryan Parrott wanted to like just throw Masked Rider into the background of like a shot for one of the big arcs in the original comic run. But I guess they didn't get the approval in time, so the artist was already commissioned to draw the comic. So originally, so they do have the rights. It's just they don't.
Yeah,
He just missed a deadline. That's why Dex isn't in the comic. So Dex would have been first. It would have gone chronologically, but he missed a shot.
and in the original like Mighty Morphin comic, not original, but the one that came out
The
in
2016 run.
2016. When they were reintroducing the Green Ranger, one of the like red herrings was Ryan Steele.
Yeah.
He was on Grace's like name list.
Mm-hmm. I do remember seeing that. That was
Yeah,
that was fun. So yeah, they've been teasing it, stuff like this for a while. It's just I mean, things like VR Troopers, Beetleborgs, Mystic Knights, Tyrannog, Masked Rider, all the Saban things are just. It's not even just exclusively the live action shows. It's everything Saban has ever touched is just in some kind of weird place legally where it's not always clear whether or not someone can do something new with it. So because it's
especially
like
the
no one really knows who owns the rights to like piece like because some things like Digimon for example, the American music is not owned by Disney. It's not owned by Saban. It's owned by some like third party. And that's why like the Digimon movie soundtrack is like all kinds of fucked on Spotify. It just has like, a lot of the main, the main hits that it's known for. So yeah, when it comes to like Saban stuff, it's just like safe to assume it's in some kind of weird limbo. So obviously none of us ever expected to see like anything done with these things ever again. But it's fun to see for sure.
Mhm.
And like going into that like a little bit more, like I mean, it's nice that it's just not the original trooper costumes just redone. They
especially
actually,
Ryan's.
yeah, especially Ryan's. He's got like a nice new flair to him, um, and I think like they kind of did that to give the team more synergy because like before, obviously it was it
Yeah,
was Metalder and Scheider, two very different, just two different shows that like
yeah,
have nothing unifying them. But now, of course, it's comics, so they can just do whatever they want because they can just draw it. So now there's a little bit. I think there's a bit more uniformity in how all three of them are designed, but it still holds true to like the original designs, if that makes any
yeah. Like
sense.
Ryan has a face still, where the others have their like masks, or more like visor.
Right. But I feel like they kind of angularized everything, so that way it's
Hmm.
like, oh, okay, they all have that.
And then especially like the mirror for the like prime suits, like they seem they're from the same universe. It looks like not like what VR Troopers would look like with Mighty Morphin.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because that
Even
would look
though,
really weird.
yeah,
So yeah, it did I think it did a very good job of incorporating that and kind of blending that whole thing. So I guess. Well, we'll start with like the familiar characters. So we have Lauren kind of leading this from Samurai, which I was very excited about. I know you were very excited about it too. We're both Lauren Shiba fans here.
yeah,
Um, because I mean, if anybody ever needed more from Samurai, I think it would be her.
yeah,
So, um, but yeah, I'm really digging her characterization so far in this comic.
yeah. And then like Samurai, like I think she had the same type of trauma, just like now it's like heightened in Prime
R-
because her family's actually gone.
right? Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit more stakes here, because that's kind of the fun thing about this is because this is an alternate universe. It's like these are versions of the characters, so a lot of what we know about them can apply to what we're reading, but there's still enough different that like not everything is exactly going to fit. So obviously, like in this case, Lauren's dad, I guess, and it looks like a sister because like in some of
Uh,
the flashback panels, it looked like a little girl and a little boy were there, unless.
well, I think the little girl would be Lauren, right? And
Is it?
then
Okay.
yeah, and then
Some
Jaden,
of this stuff is kind of drawn weird sometimes. So it's like
yeah,
sometimes it seems like there's a flashback and then it's just like a close up shot of the character. So it's kind of hard to
yeah.
tell if it's like a flashback or not. So,
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up that like we see like baby Jaden in it because
yeah.
she's running off and her dad's like go, and then like she's like no,
No, I can't.
the the typical runaway thing, but there's just little baby Jaden.
Right. At least Dark Kondo wasn't there to like scoop her up and
Oh my
take her into
god,
a forest in plain sight. um, but yeah, I kind of like how. So, like, one of Samurai's biggest problems was the whitewashing.
yeah,
Obviously, um, for a season that like really kept to Shinkenger and like they really wanted to translate everything, but they cast a white guy as the Red Ranger for
yeah,
the
and then made
for the head of the Shiba clan. Uh,
what Mia It's Mia, right? Yeah, because
Yeah.
Gia is Megaforce.
Oh,
Yeah, made her an incompetent cook.
is it Mia?
Is
Oh, I
it
was
Mia?
thinking Emma because you said
Emma.
Megaforce. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
Emma is Megaforce, Mia is Samurai. Um,
and then Gia is
Gia
Megaforce,
is his names.
and Emily's Samurai.
Emily is Samurai.
Yeah,
Yes.
they didn't.
No, they knew what they were doing. They were trying to confuse everyone. I'm pretty sure those were just like the second line, freaking what the hell sides, actor
Yeah,
sides. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are just the second names that they had to choose for samurai.
for yeah, they're like, we need girl names.
Right. What rhymes with Mia? Gia. Perfect. Put it
And
in.
then the last one was Emily, Emma.
Yeah. Wait, cut that half. Cut that in half. Put an A at the end. Perfect.
But
um,
yeah, Lauren's been good in the like. She's felt competent the whole time.
mhm.
Up to issue 7. Obviously, she's having the classic male role of lost father. So,
Yeah, she truly is a Red Ranger because she
yeah,
cannot find her fucking dad. She doesn't know where the fuck he is. That's her true test
yeah.
of the Red Ranger.
You
Your
find your dad
mantle.
and then let him go off with your rich buddy
Yeah, exactly.
around the world.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Who else have we got so far? So we got Lauren, and
I think
then
Orion's
Orion is
next.
back. Yes.
Yeah. Um, yeah, Orion from Megaforce is in
Yeah,
here.
Orion from Megaforce is just like
Andrasian
randomly here. He is
Orion.
still the sole survivor of Andrasia, from what we were
Yep.
led to believe, but he's
Yep.
just chilling on a Angel Grove University dorms, I guess.
Yep. With their, as a refugee
Yeah.
or roofie as their
Roofie. Yeah, that was
derogatory
like the
term.
slur they used, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to read that last night. I was like,
Yeah.
roofie. That's kind of a weird word. Okay. Like, not the word I would have chosen, but okay.
Yeah, I guess it sounds. It's probably easier to say than like refu or
Yeah.
like some type of short
Yeah, I
thing.
guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
It sounds ignorant, just like any
no, yeah,
derogatory
it really
term.
does. It's perfectly ignorant to say. So, I guess they did their job. But yeah, I think he's been probably the most true to his character.
Yeah.
I'd say he's just as kind of charismatic as Cameron Jibo was in Megaforce. So I think it's a pretty good capture of his character. Um, yeah, and it's just kind of fun to see him in a slightly, at least from my perception, a slightly more queer lens. Uh,
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
because
he's
I'm pretty
very,
sure 3 out of 5 of these people are gay.
yeah, 100%. It's all the
All
guys.
the guys. It's all the guys. Okay? They are all so gay, and I live for it. Yeah, and then pretty much everyone else on the team is all new people.
Yeah,
So we
with a couple, familiar things.
yeah, pretty much. So we have Markon, who is a half Aquitian refugee from Aquitar. And then we have Junmore, who is full-blooded Eltarian, who he immigrated to Earth, right?
No, he was born on
He was
Earth.
born on Earth. Okay,
Yeah, that's what makes him different than a lot of the
right. That's
Eltarians.
why he's better because he was born on Earth.
Yeah,
And then we have Valentina, just a
yeah,
random
which
human.
that's what I was trying to. I was gonna like search. I don't know if it has it on the page that you're looking at,
Mm.
but like I can't remember if there was a Valentina in Mighty Morphin,
Oh,
like as like a side character.
maybe the only person I can think of that named Valentina in Rangers. Wasn't there that actress in Dino Thunder for that one episode? Wasn't it something
Yeah,
Valentina?
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I'm
All right. Well,
looking at the wiki and nothing is seems to be coming up. All that, yeah, aspiring ranger, student at the Ranger Academy. That's kind of all I see.
yeah. Hmm.
Hmm.
Interesting.
So it just might be an original character.
Yeah.
So
True.
that's perfectly
Well, there
fine.
at least has to be, one person that like
Well, I
her
guess,
background and stuff
yeah,
is
I guess her
interesting.
characterization so far, and it's 7 issues in. It's, the comic runs not over yet. Everyone, calm down. Don't get mad at me. But right now, her characterization is kind of just Ryan Steele's girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what.
But
That's just kind of how she's introduced to us.
yeah, there's like a key moment later on where like it's her and June after like they leave and they're at that like ball or whatever and like both
Which
their parents see
was that?
them.
Did that not feel kind of random to you?
It did feel random,
Because
but
I'm
it was
like,
like
okay, wait. So you left the freaking museum. You just fought the VR troopers, and y'all just ran off to this uppity
yeah,
ball.
yeah. I thought I missed something, and then I was like,
Yeah, I
no,
thought there was like an
it
issue I
was
missed. I'm like, what the fuck happened here?
it was Rita saying you're not worthy, and then boom, they
Right.
were gone. But
It was
yeah,
Power Rangers Unworthy, but in comic.
I mean, yeah, this Rita would be someone that would like a character that would pop up in that.
yeah. She really is that.
But yeah, Valentina's like family is like in with the Eltarians
Hmm.
basically, but like in with them, but like under them, like they're
Yeah,
like
I
the
mean,
probably
it's
like the
kind of like the
chosen
classic
humans.
story of like people of color with a lot of money who try to
Yeah,
like kind of assimilate themselves into spaces where there's a lot of privilege.
yeah.
So that's just kind of what that is. That's kind of the perspective her family is coming from.
Um,
Um, and
and then
then,
before we go past June,
mhm,
another thing brought up later in the comic. I don't know how we're gonna structure this, but I thought it was pretty important.
mhm.
Was that like Eltarians are supposed to be shaved, and he's not.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
because
yeah, that's right. He's the
he
only
went back
Altarian
to
with hair.
he went back to visit Eltar and like whatever commander. It wasn't one of the ones from the main series.
Hmm.
Was like, why isn't he shaven? And his mom was like, he's just he's gonna be important because he's with the humans, like he's assimilating. And he's like, I'll shave him myself. Like,
It's like, first of all, get your hands off me. This is bad touch.
and then with Mark, another thing I saw that was just it's one of the Easter eggs I saw, but he's refugee 082893,
Hmm.
which is August
Oh,
28th,
August 28th,
93.
1993.
Yeah,
Wow.
I was like, that's an important number.
That is an important number. Of course. And of course Melissa would put that in
Yeah,
there.
but yeah, I just those were my two like weird things about them.
No, those are good because like
And
those totally honestly went over my head. Because I'm glad I reread it before we started doing this tonight because I think I don't know if I'm just like not paying attention to things sometimes, but I think like sometimes there's just a lot of stuff happening in the panels. So like
there's a lot.
I'm not catching everything because they really do in these comics in particular. Like in the Ranger comics, I've done this since they started in 2016. They try to pack as much as they can into the pages as possible. Like, and some of the issues do feel like they fly by really quickly,
Hmm.
but there's still like a lot happening, and I think that's just because there's so much they're giving you, and it just leaves you wanting more at the end. So like you burn through it pretty quick. Um, because I didn't know that their suits are based off like different like gemstones. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't.
saw that too when I was looking at it. I was like, "What is this?" And then I saw the unicorn horn, and I was like,
Yeah, it was like Bulk grabbed those gemstones from that part of the museum, and that's what Rady used as the basis for the morphers or the
"Yep,
coins or whatever the fuck. And I was like,
yeah." Three of them
oh,
are
that makes a
reptiles and
little bit more
confused me.
sense. I don't get why some of them are dinosaurs and one of them's a snake and one of them's a unicorn.
And the other one's
Or
a chocobo bird thing,
yeah, like I don't
whatever
know
yellow is.
exactly where all the animals are coming from because this was definitely a natural history museum in Angel Grove.
Well, they have the morphers there,
Yeah, that's
but I don't
true.
know
I
what
did see
the
a
yeah, I don't know what
transmorpher on
the
display and a few other things.
yeah,
So, which is interesting because it's like, so in this universe, the Power Rangers existed at one point, and then when Eltar colonized Earth,
colonized. Yeah, they
when Eltar
colonized
colonized,
it.
when Eltar colonized Earth, the Rangers just kind of went away because I guess, public perception changed, and
The Eltarians went after them
yeah, the Eltarians went after them.
because that's what happened to the Shivas.
Right.
Right, those are the only team that we know what happened.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Besides, okay, that's later down my list.
Yeah, because right now, so far, like all I've seen is Lost Galaxy, maybe Mighty Morphin, and
Like
Samurai.
Morpher wise,
Yeah, Morpher wise.
yes, there was Lost Galaxy, yeah, Mighty Morphin, and
Yeah, because
then
there's that
Samurai,
broken Triceratops
uh,
coin in the museum too.
and then the little T Rex friend later when he's created, um, he has the Alien Ranger sword in his mouth.
He does. Oh yes, that's right. He
Yeah, cause,
does. Yeah, he has the
yeah,
equipment sword in his
cause,
mouth.
yeah, cause it's when we get to the belly or like the mutant haven area,
Oh yes.
the head like mutants like yeah the guy just brings us random things and it's always from the museum and it's just different stuff. So that's
Uh,
how the samurais are got there.
got it. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So is was the belly, was that a Time Force thing, or is that just like a
I,
new, I think this is a
I
new
think
thing,
it's
right?
just a new thing
Yeah.
because yeah, Bulk, who's in this by the way, Bulkmeyer is important in
Yeah,
every universe
he's one of
apparently.
the Altarian guards, which
Yeah,
is
and then
wild. There's no skull yet, but just
yeah,
bulk for now.
he just gets taken by Rita and is like, "You're my dummy." And he's like, "All right, I guess."
He really is just like very non-combative about it. He's just like, "Are you gonna
Yeah,
kill me?" And she's like, "That's a stupid question. I think I'm gonna
but
keep you."
but Bulk goes to mention the mutants from the trooper, like the digital.
Oh yeah, that's right. The mutants are the troopers,
Yeah,
are the troopers' enemies. Yeah,
that's why they fight them. But they're it's also Power Ranger universe, so there's mutants there
right.
because I don't think it's '93 that they're in. It's probably
No, it's definitely
current
modern day
time.
because they got
Yeah,
they got cell phones.
yeah. So
So
they have samurais
yeah,
cell
yeah,
phones, but yeah, Bulk just is about to say it and it gets cut off, and then also Ryan is like, "There's something coming," and it's like they're about to fight something else that's not Eltarian when there's something happening with these Ranger things.
right,
Which also, there's a spin-off for VR Troopers coming out soon. So
right, and it's very likely Grimlord is in it. So
yeah,
definitely that's what it looked like. Which I mean, duh. Obviously, if the VR troopers are here, Grimlord's going to be here.
yeah,
Um, but I am interested to see like how he because I feel like he's got to have a hand in all of this, right? And
there's some crazy stuff
yeah,
going
there's
on.
got to be
Honestly,
something because for a while one of my theories was that I thought it would be like a twist, and because this is before I think we got the announcement that the troopers were getting their own comic. So this is all before then. So now it doesn't even matter. But who knows? Maybe it'll still happen. I don't know. Anyway, um, one of my original theories was that the troopers were working for Grimlord, and like Grimlord was their Doctor Hart, and he's the one who gave them the virtualizers and did all that stuff. Um, which maybe could still be a thing, but I don't
yeah,
know. But I feel like there's something more convoluted and interesting and nefarious because the Altarians are involved with now.
yeah.
So I'm
Um,
interested to see how that plays out.
I have Doobie written down the corgi, just as I was writing characters as they showed up.
And Doobie is a great character. He's a good
Yeah,
character.
he's a good boy.
He's a good boy.
He tricked the Eltarians when they came to look for Lauren at Orion's apartment.
He did. Quick
Like, my
thinking on
dog is
Orion
gonna.
too. He just like tossed his shirt off, got a water bottle, and was like, "Yep, okay, come on,
Yep.
Dewey, let's go answer the door."
And then they just show up at Jin's place, like Lauren's holding Doobie, Orion's shirtless, like, yeah, we couldn't go back.
Yeah, we got locked out. My bad. you do
Um,
you do all that and you forget to lock the door or unlock the door.
Non-Ranger familiar characters. Rita's here.
hmm Rita Repulsa is here. A, so I got really fucking behind in the original run of the comics, so there's a lot of stuff that I miss. Altarian War, I just know it by name, right?
Yeah,
And
I can
so,
fill in the gaps.
okay, cool. So is this Rita? Because this is like Mistress Vile looking kind of Rita. Is that who this is supposed to be, Mistress Vile?
So there's Rita. It's not Mistress File. It's actually like
It
Rita.
is actually Rita. Okay.
But the thing with Rita's backstory in the original comic run
Mm-hmm.
is that they added that her mom infused her with the morphing grid to like protect her from Master Vile, but then it turned. So they're using that in this comic. So that means that this is not the same Rita,
Mm-hmm.
but like the same backstory for Rita.
Okay.
And that's what makes me think that this is also just knowing how the last comic ended, an alternate universe caused by actions in that comic.
Likely, yes.
Yeah.
very, very.
And
That
so I know, yeah, I just have a feeling at the end of it, it's just
that
going to
that
be
grid
like,
is
boom.
still very shattered.
Yeah.
It will be shattered for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, Billy
Billy,
ruined things.
so, there's so much. You have too much Billy going on over there. Too much Billy energy is dangerous.
But yeah, so yeah, Rita just, it's so random too how it happens in the comic.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the
Well, because that's how they
comic.
like explain in the Dragon Shield, right?
Yeah,
Is
because her mom.
It's because her mom gives it to her and like connects her to the morphing grid. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember getting that far. It just had been a while.
Yeah, and the first Green Ranger gets like murdered.
Yeah. Very, very dramatic.
But yeah, so this Rita, I don't know if she's younger or like when she got put into the dumpster,
Mhm.
because she's obviously not the same looking as Rita. Like the Rita towards, yeah, like Mistress Vile type Rita started looking sort of like this, but she was still older.
Mhm.
This Rita definitely just looks younger.
Yeah, I think that's
She's
kind of
still old.
what they were doing. I think it was kind of
Um,
maybe it's just a refresh of Rita.
yeah, and then like just the way something happened that they're not talking about yet with the moon, because like the the dumpster blasts to Earth from the moon. It's
Mhm.
not like she comes from the moon.
Yeah, that's true. She was kind
And
of like
so
launched from the moon,
yeah,
so maybe there's
and
something else there.
yeah, she's connected. She has a connection. I wrote down that she has a connection to the morphing grid with the question mark, and then I was like, oh, duh, she has the same backstory, because I think she specifically says that her mom infused her, which is just easy to just read Power Rangers Unlimited, whatever, and you can get a read a backstory for this.
Right. Yeah, a lot of this stuff doesn't require a lot of like prior knowledge, but I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you're gonna understand a little bit more context on things if you have.
Yeah, if you know who Rita Repulsa is and why she was on the moon,
Yeah, you really don't
probably
need
the same
you don't need
reason.
much more than that. But
Um,
um,
but yeah, and then I wrote down like just some random like notes for Earth's colonization.
Mhm.
It was the 205th colony by the Eltarians, which the Eltarians in the main comic also did the colonizing thing.
yeah,
This Zordon didn't ever mention it until it happened.
classic Zordon.
Because he didn't understand it as colonizing, because he was just a farm boy. He was just doing good by his country,
Mhm.
West Planet, and then that, you know.
And then it happened. And now what, Zordon? Look who looks
Yep.
like a fool now.
Now he's an Earthling.
No, he's
That's
an
how he
Earthling.
says. But it was after the. I don't know who the heck the Beast Brigade is
I have
of
no
Gamma
idea what that is.
Seven,
I thought that
but
might be like a VR Troopers thing,
yeah, that's
but I
something.
think it's a new threat.
But
This
not
is Gamma
even the
7.
Rangers can handle. Yeah,
That's where they're from. And I'm just like, that kind of sounds familiar. Gamma 7. All right, I'm pulling up the Guardians of Eltar. Okay, so it's the same people who attacked Earth. They also attacked Aquitar.
okay.
The Beast Brigade
Yeah, that's
is,
in the comics too,
yeah. So the Beast Brigade was responsible for both of those things.
where Mark loses his whole. He's like the only refugee
Yeah.
from Aquitar.
Mm-hmm. Just wild.
Which there's an equation in the backstory when the Eltarians are meeting with like whoever the president is in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
that might
there's
be
like
a
a few
ranger.
Altarians or Altarian Equitians scattered. So I think a lot of Equitians have just like emigrated
Yeah,
from Aquitar, I guess.
yeah.
Um,
But his mom was human,
his mom was human, so
and that's what my
I'm
other
interested who his dad was. Maybe
Setro
it's gonna be like Corcus,
Porcus.
Tidius, one of the other ones that they didn't care about. He's like, oh yeah, that one we killed him off screen. Or you know what? Maybe it is Orico because like he brought the sword. TZ
Sure, yeah,
he brought the
yeah.
sword, so maybe that was a little like it was a little
I have a theory who
breadcrumb.
his mom is.
Who is it? Who is his mom? You think?
Well, his mom was an astronaut, and there was an astronaut in the main comic, like Grace Sterling. The
Oh, oh. Well, that sure would be that sure would be
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, and that connects to the main story
At first,
too.
I thought you were going to say that random astronaut that Kelsey hooks up with in Lightspeed Rescue because that'd be really funny.
Yeah, they, oh, it happened a
It'd be
long
rainbow
time ago.
washing, but it'd be funny.
It would be, yeah. I don't know if Melissa would do that. But yeah, that's my theory for that, and I think it's gonna be that.
That's a solid theory, I think. I don't know. I'm kind of just like keeping my. I'm not trying to expect too much. I'm just kind of like,
Yeah,
if it's like a person we know, I'm just like, oh, okay, that's cool. It's like when RJ showed up.
yeah. That's
It's
I
just
was
like,
gonna
oh, okay, RJ's just here.
command
Um,
your center luxury retreat.
that was hilarious. That was so hilarious because it's just like she knows the exact coordinates of the command center, and she's like, okay, we're in Angel Grove. I should be able to go here, and we'll be fine. And she shows up there. It's the same building, but it's a fucking yoga retreat. And RJ is just one of the teachers there. And so she sets the building on fire
So
because
it says
she's
later, and then
annoyed.
just Bulk's like, "I hope you didn't kill anyone." She's like, "I tried."
It's oh my god, it's too good. It's really funny, honestly. Um, what else we got going on so far? So, truthfully speaking, the only trooper who's gotten really anything to do in this run so far is Ryan. JB and Caitlin are just kind of there.
They're very ruthless.
They
They
are
go for the
very
throat.
ruthless. They're very bloodthirsty. It's just
Uh,
like, okay, like both of you need to calm down.
JB just like blasted, and then Caitlyn was like, "I'm gonna do my duplication thing."
Yeah, it's just like, hey guys, doesn't this look a lot cooler when we're not using the same footage all the time? This is a pretty cool power when we don't have to use the same thing. When you don't have to look at the same sequence of events all the time. It's pretty cool, actually. Oh
Oh
my
man,
gosh. Um,
Um,
but
yeah,
yeah,
I think that's all the characters. Because yeah, I wrote down just the VR troopers,
yeah.
and
The
then
only other ones are like Professor Barl, who's Mark and June's teacher at the university, and for some reason Mrs.
June's
Zhao,
mom.
which oh, Mrs. Zhao is Mark's mom. Okay, that's who that is. All right, cool, 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 cool. I forgot that these people have last names. He's in a question with a last name. It's so weird. um, oh, and then Jeb. Jeb is there for sure. Which
Well, they cut Ryan, or like Ryan got cut off by Mark when he was interrogating Mark, because Ryan was like, "I have a dog too. His name's Jet," and then Mark
yeah,
just pops off.
yeah. Well, because like he morphed and he's just like, all right, fuck you. You're not restraining me. I'm
Yeah,
gonna freaking break out of here.
and he gets
And that was
tased.
that was weird too because it was after that. That's when Ryan went to the ball thing.
Yeah,
It's like, what is the sequence of events? How fast is time passing? How long have you guys been Rangers for? Because I don't really
there's a lot going
understand.
on.
Because it's like Lauren. It's really Lauren
Lauren,
and Orion, right?
yeah, they're the only two in the
Yeah, they're
underground
the only
thing.
two like walking through the tunnels, and it's just like, okay, it cannot have been more than like an hour or two.
Yeah,
So like, you guys walk through the tunnels, and in that time, Mark's getting interrogated by Ryan. Ryan friggin' just bails once he breaks out, and it's just like, it's kind of weird.
yeah, it's a lot for sure.
It is definitely a lot. Um,
But yeah, I guess we could talk about like just the overall plot, as we've talked about bits and pieces.
yeah, so I mean, like, they're obviously building up Eltar as kind of like the big bads. It was a very timely story.
Yeah,
It was a very timely story. It's like kind of like when we watched X-Men '97 and what was
yep,
going on at the time. Um, Once again, and I think like Melissa very much was
yeah.
inspired by that. Um,
Artists expressing themselves.
yeah, which is fair. You know, everyone processes all this nonsense differently, and it's a good way to do it. Uh, yeah, it was. It's just. I'm blanking on what I was gonna say.
Well, so yeah, like you know, we the comic opens with like Lauren on the run from the
Mhm.
Eltarians, and that's like the big hitter where it's like, aren't the Eltarians the good guys?
Yeah,
If you only know Zordon of Eltar,
yeah, pretty
um,
much. Yeah,
and so like that, and then like the timeline is a lot different compared to like normal Power Rangers, whereas like the Beast Brigade invaded, and then the Eltarians had to come help, even though there were established Ranger teams on Earth already.
right.
Because like the Samurai Rangers, Lauren talks about how like the Samurai Rangers helped like throughout different like eras and
Yeah, and it
whatnot.
was kind of cool because we got to see them like throughout history,
Yeah,
which was a cool way to kind of show that and just sort of explain the progression of how the Samurai Rangers got to where they are. Because I think what I noticed, it was like a slow progression west
yeah,
is what I noticed like throughout history, and it's like they eventually made their way to the colonial United States, and
yeah.
I guess that's just sort of how they got to where they are.
Like we're gonna
Which,
explain why they're white.
yeah, that's pretty much the only, which is like the only thing you could really do, I suppose.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a cool way of explaining that away. So shouldn't
Um,
have to do that because all they had
yeah.
to do was cast an Asian guy. But you know, whatever. One, just one more,
Yeah.
we would have
Yep.
been fine.
Yeah. The other ones, time happens,
Well,
but you
well,
don't get the most whitest guy ever.
that's the thing. That's like the biggest gripe. Like I think most people have is just like they kept the Shiba clan, right? So so I guess technically his last name may not be Shiba for all, but as far as we're led to believe from what's written,
Jade and
Jade and
Sheba.
Shiba. And so that's a white guy. So that's just kind of weird. That's just weird.
It's a
So
white guy, and then G's actor, is he Asian? I think he's Islander, right?
yeah, I
Right?
mean, the actor is Samoan.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, I
it's
mean that
G.
it's, but that one is a little bit more,
Yeah.
like it's like because like I don't know. I feel like if that's the central character and the way the family dynamics are set up, at least the way Shinkenger set it up,
Yeah.
uh, you know, it's like a bloodline type of thing. And so you could see like retainers from Japan immigrating across the world, and just be like, oh, okay, if my lord ever needs me, I'll come back or whatever. And then like that's kind of
Yeah, but like
how,
the main guy.
yeah, but the main guy, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
anyway. That's just that's been a thing for more than 10 years, and people are very aware of it. I just appreciate that they're trying to figure
Explain it.
something out with it.
Yeah. Um
um,
yeah, and then Lauren, finds her way. But the main plot point is that the Eltarians colonized Earth
mhm,
and have taken over to where like Earthlings they did the oh we're gonna help you in this war and then yeah we're just gonna colonize you because it's better for you and you're safer now.
right.
But we're treating our refugees bad from all these other planets that we saved. We're bringing them here.
Because it's
It's
going to be better. It's going to be
gonna be
so much
better.
better here in America,
Yeah.
Earth.
Yeah, and then our cops are gonna call them slurs.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
But yeah, and then it's so small. Like, there's not a lot of info, even though it's 7 issues. But there's a lot. It's just we're focusing mainly on the Rangers and
yeah,
whatnot,
I
and
think
they're on
it's
the
just more so
run.
setting up these particular Rangers still.
Yeah,
I think from this point forward, because I think this is a 12 issue run, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
so this is gonna be like all hits
yeah. So it's
because, but yeah, and then like the troopers are like I wouldn't say they're necessarily henchmen for the Eltarians, but they're more preferred to be used by the Eltarians than Rangers.
yeah,
Because I guess the Rangers probably had some fight back, but then I imagine in this world the troopers got like the Eltarians are the good guys. We're gonna work with them.
yeah. They fell
The
for the
Rangers are the bad
propaganda, so
guys.
they
Yeah,
they got the support of the Altarians.
yeah,
So yeah, that makes perfect sense. Um, Something I am noticing on the Ranger Wiki, they're saying a Prime Green Ranger.
yeah.
There is a Prime Green Ranger.
There's gonna be.
Oh,
It was. It's in the first. That page where like the
oh, where
first
like
like
all
look
the
at
color
Prime Red.
swirls,
Yeah, but
and like
there's
you see
there's
the
a
Prime Red
Green
Ranger.
Ranger silhouette there.
Uh, of course there
But
is.
yeah, it's like because this is issue 7. I think it's going to be brought up at the end of issue 8.
Probably.
Because there's like I hate reading solicitations, but they keep popping up on my feed.
Yeah, I avoid like everything. I like really
I
nowadays. I
try
just try
to,
and keep up like the most minimum of knowledge. Like just hey, a VR Troopers comic is full on happening. Okay, cool. That's all I need to know until issue 1 comes out.
yeah.
Because like I'm pretty happy with myself that like, because I don't know if the VR Troopers were spoiled. They weren't for me.
It was like, or no, yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't spoiled for me either.
Yeah, because like I'm pretty sure because I
Yeah,
got the
because
spoiler variant, so I think
yeah, I read it
that's when I found out
and
when I took the comic out and I see freaking Ryan Steele on the cover and I'm like, what? Hello, what?
yeah, I read the comic and I was like, um, but yeah, they started pumping it out like the week of. I remember that much.
Okay,
Like when I like finally got online
okay.
with it, but I didn't see it until like the actual comic. But I'm pretty excited for the VR Troopers being in there. I don't know. It's so random, like nostalgia.
It is for sure, but I think it's like also just like something we kind of always wanted to see. and I feel like they always could have done, but obviously Saban
I
is just too
mean,
much of a cheap ass to ever do something like that.
Spawn and Hasbro
So yeah,
both could
Saban,
have.
yeah, exactly.
It did not have to be Captain Chaku. He could have been a VR trooper.
Right, the freaking Joe Chaku man,
Yeah, and then Sheriff Skyfire or whatever.
Sheriff Skyfire, yeah, freaking Jiraiya.
Yeah,
That was
like
freaking. They turn a freaking ninja into a cop.
yep,
Can you believe that? The nerve of these people. They turned
the
a
nerve of
ninja into a cop.
them.
Like the nerve of you people. God. But um uh have we seen like solicitations for Zords other than little TZ? No, huh?
No, that's the only thing I've seen is
Dang.
ZZ. I thought it was gonna. I mean, obviously, it's probably gonna do the Dino Charge thing where it's a little guy and then he's gonna become a big guy.
Yeah,
But
probably.
yeah, I'm
And then
excited to see these Zords because of what animals they're based on. I want to see how they make a
can you
Megazord.
imagine it's just the Mighty Morphin Zords, but they just snap new animal heads on? It's just a snake head on the mastodon. Or
Well, I'm
no,
trying
no,
to
no, no, no.
think.
They extend the mastodon and get rid of the other feet, and they just stick a snake head on it, and it's still the arms.
The comic Zords are known for doing some silly
Yeah, the
stuff.
comics are just usually just kind of do whatever. It's like, okay, here are 5 totally cool shapes, and now they totally make this other shape that in no way could happen in real life. With you could throw as much Transformers engineering into there as you want. There is no way in fucking hell that is happening.
Yeah, I am kind of picturing it to be like Dino Megazord. I have a picture
I
of it
think they
like in
would,
front
because
of
if
me.
TZ is gonna like look so much like the Tyrannosaurus Dinosaur, they'll probably try
Yeah,
and keep it. Because I mean, the overall design of the Rangers so far is like Mighty Morphin updated, so
yeah,
the Megazord would likely follow that kind of same design
yeah.
scheme. So
If a unicorn is a leg, it'll be a waist.
yeah, right. The unicorn just
Um,
wraps around the waist. Just the horn is the buckle.
well, they'll have to have the unicorn and snake kiss to do their combination.
Because they're boyfriends.
Yes,
Because they're boyfriends.
this is how we combine,
Did you
right?
not see their comic cover? They are boyfriends.
In the
I also
gym.
love how Valentina just like kind of drags Jin and like tells him like just making fun of him for his new crush or whatever,
Yeah,
and it's just like, well,
yeah.
obviously it's like you, Mark, and Orion are going to be in a throuple by the end of this shit. It's which is perfectly fine with me. More
Yeah,
because we don't have really any queer rangers yet, like male rangers. A
yeah,
lot of the queer range. Well, there's two on the Solar Rangers.
yeah. And then they also ended the Mighty Morphin run with Rocky and Adam.
Oh yes, yes, which is fair because Rocky.
Yeah,
Rocky always leaned. Well, Rocky and Adam, they were both always kind of bisexual.
yeah. And like, I don't know, that one, they were going through it because they were so new still, like doing everything. Obviously, it took forever for like season 2 stuff, but like all the stuff they were going through, they got turned into like zombies, bad guys again. It was all bad.
Yeah, they're just going through a lot of trauma
Yeah,
bonding.
they're like, we got each other.
We got each other, and that's all we need. Plus, when Adam showed up in the comic with those piercings, it was like, oh, okay, this
Yeah,
this this Adam's built different.
him and Rocky.
Yep, him and Rocky are built different in this universe. um,
But yeah, yeah,
yeah,
we just a lot of stuff going on. Ryan does seem to be good leaning,
yeah.
like he has a good heart, and that's
I feel like possibly I guess we can. This could go into like a theory. Now that I know there's going to be a Green Ranger, um, I feel like Ryan is it be him.
Yeah. Well,
So
and then like that would make sense for like how JB and Caitlyn act, because then like they will be like, "What the heck? You betrayed us!" And
right,
then like,
yeah, because I feel like Ryan's kind of getting the characterization that like he was the one that was manipulated. Meanwhile, JB and Caitlyn were like semi in on it. Maybe they were like in the same. Maybe they had the same ideas as Ryan, but like as like things with the Eltarians like kind of changed, their allegiances kind of shifted. So
yeah,
maybe something along those lines. That's kind of likely given the nature of just kind of these comics in general. Um, that seems like something they would do. So plus they get to make Ryan Steele a Ranger, and I'm sure Brad Hawkins would love that.
yeah, you'll get another
Brad
helmet
Hawkins could get a
made.
full 3 people on his posters now.
Yeah,
Suck it, Trey.
yeah. I I don't know if he's been at a con, but like Cameron Jibo, like, has anyone been like, "Hey, you're pink now"?
I don't. I feel like he knows about it because I do follow him on
Yeah,
Instagram, and I feel like he's mentioned it. And I feel like he's one of the people that like sees Melissa Flores frequently, so I
yeah,
feel like she definitely would have told him. Um, so yeah, I'm sure he'll be popping up as pink now. Some of these things,
yeah. For the
with
Forever Pink panel, he'll be
the
on there.
Forever
Like,
Pink
yeah,
panel. I'm sure, and I think Kim Crossman has her first con appearance in a few years in like a couple weeks. So I'm sure someone's gonna be handing her a comic, and she's gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?" I was unaware of any of this shit.
but yeah, the issue 7 ends with them finding the power chamber.
Oh yes, yes, it is. Sorry, it was really late last night when I read that,
Yeah,
and
no, you're
I
good.
was like doing that. I was like, no,
Yeah,
I need to read it for tomorrow.
yeah, because the mutants help them. Rita's like, "Do these tunnels go anywhere?" And he's like, "Yeah, pretty much, or I can dig wherever." And she's like, "All right, I need somewhere to go." And then also, I can't recognize it, but there's 3 things that she's like, "We can use these." And then like right before they go, and they didn't look like morphers, so I don't know what they are.
Hmm, interesting. There's still more to be seen. So, but we will probably reconvene probably at the end
Yes,
of the series and just kind of talk about the whole thing overall, unless something really fucking cool happens in the next few weeks or in the next couple
yes,
months, because these issues come out monthly. Um,
yeah.
but yeah,
I
if
can't tell what they are.
are you able to hold it up to the camera?
It's
Hmm.
this right up here.
Oh, so one of those is Korag's Morpher. At least it looks like it. That like red thing.
Uh huh.
One of them looks like Korag's Morpher, and then what's the other one? I think it just might be some morphers,
Yeah.
like
More than likely, just
like a
like
bin of
edges that we
morphers.
don't see. But yeah, there it is. There's the tube.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
And there's TZ,
There's
the
TZ,
baby.
being adorable, and the boyfriends. 2
2
out of the 3.
out of the 3.
I definitely need to get that because those 2 variant covers are so gay. I
Yeah.
will be getting those there, but they're like $24 each.
Yeah.
They're like the most expensive variants because I guess it's expensive to be. Well, it is expensive to be gay now. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I thought they were main covers, and then I was like, nope, they're not.
yeah.
They're
Or I thought they would be like some of the regular variants that are like $8. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. But it's like, no,
nah.
these are
You
like
gotta
the
pay.
super. These are like the super exclusive covers. I was like, okay, whatever. Being dramatic. Um, all right. Well, cool. Well, thank you, Billy, for coming on tonight
No
for this
problem.
impromptu season premiere of season 3 of the show.
Happy season 3.
Yeah, happy season 3. We'll see what the hell we're going to be talking about this year. Um, but yeah, I'm sure you will be back on again sometime, perhaps when the VR Troopers come out.
Yeah, we could talk
Or
about
actually,
issue 1 or
that was
something.
coming out probably next week, I think. Is it June or July? I think it comes out.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I was reading through the stuff last night and I looked at the published date and it said June or July 2025. I was like, oh,
Well,
well, that's soon.
I need to
So,
get that Goni Montes cover,
oh yeah,
the helmet one.
I'm kind of like, those were so special to me. Like because I still have the issue zero ones, and like I think I got all of them except for the main five. I got them all signed by Kyle Higgins at the premiere of the comic, and I was like, oh man, these covers are so cool. But now it's like they've done like everyone. And I was like,
They've done every turtle holding every helmet multiple times now.
right, like I have so many versions of it, but I mean
Yeah, I
like,
have yours that you gave me.
yeah, that's right.
I've been meaning to post about that, but we'll talk about it later.
Yeah, but yeah, but I mean, they're still cool. I'm probably starting to get it, so I don't know who the fuck I'm fooling. That's what's been fun about this, like this whole new run. It has kind of like um, given reinvigorated my love of the comics because I do love the comics. I just fell very behind on them during COVID and just never caught up and just felt hopelessly behind. So it's one of those things I definitely am going to. I'm going back and I am catching up little by little. But it is nice to have a new run come out currently that I can follow currently. Um,
And when there's nothing else going on
exactly,
besides
and when there's nothing
a
else going on
bad
with Rangers,
redo.
this is good. So yeah, so it's nice to see Rangers just kind of doing something, and I think it is something fun. If you've been hesitant or have never considered the Power Ranger comics before, I think now is a perfect time to jump in. If you're
the
a person, if you somehow have made it this far into like all of our thoughts about it.
the
Um,
first trade just came out too,
yeah,
like
the first
with
trade just
issue
came out, and that's
7.
issues 1 through 5, right? Usually it's 5 issues, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
4 or 5, something like that. So
But it's a good start.
no, yeah, exactly. So the first trade of it just came out, so literally last week. So if you guys are by a bookstore or comic shop, just go pick it up and check out the first volume and see where we're at. I think it's a pretty solid story. I think it's a just something good for Rangers and maybe is boding well for the franchise. I don't know. We'll see. Um, but yeah, so Billy, thank you again for coming on tonight. Really nice having you. Of course, I love talking to you always. Um, and thank you so much for watching at home. If you liked the episode and you're on YouTube, go ahead and click the thumbs up button. And you can also subscribe for new episodes that are posted on Fridays. Not every Friday, but on Fridays. That's when the show will go up. If you are listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go ahead and rate and review the podcast. Those are greatly appreciated. You can also leave comments on Spotify. So if you would like to comment and you don't feel like going on YouTube for some reason, comment on Spotify. That's just a thing you can do. And if you want to keep up with me or Billy anywhere on the internet, I have linked all of our social medias down in the description box below. I'm at Willie J. Co. He's at Bacchus Collectibles on everything. So, yeah,
Everything important.
yeah. Billy just posted his Tegajun review the other day. So if
Yep.
you're a Go Juger fan, go watch his review. He has a bunch of other
And
reviews, and pictures, and
fans of
stuff.
the podcast, I've done 2 out of 3 parts of the not the last one I was on, but because the last one was X-Men, but the first podcast I was on, the HasLab.
Yep, yep. Billy reviewed that HasLab that we are both happy owners of now. We talked about that like over a year ago, and now we have it. So if you want to see Billy's review of it, that's over on his channel. So go check that out. So again, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time for another Friday Night Chill.